or a 1,000-mile journey starts with one step. Well, guys, this in fact, why I'm breathing hard, was my one step. Y'all want me to show you something that's gonna gross you out? If you're, all right, so okay, my hands are dirty, but notice that my nails are semi-clean, right? My hands are dirty, yes, but notice that my nails are semi-clean. Watch this. I'm going to make kind of a cat-like thing. I'm going to scrape it across my head like this. Look, no trick photography here. This is not any kind of trick photography. That's just a layer of gunk. Look, and I'm wearing a hat, y'all. And that's just a layer of gunk. There you go. I always say this, but anyone who was crushing on Lester before, that right there probably got to make you look elsewhere for your crush. Hey, you know what? Because this is over my entire body. I mean every square inch. Trust me. I do have a heavy heart, though. I will say that, and I hope that you can see that in my expressions and hear it in my voice. I don't feel well today. My health is fine, but my heart hurts. Morning, folks. Lester here. I am sitting around. I repeat, I am sitting around watching a lot of fellas work. They got that pond project and they are just going at it. They're spreading that clay. And when I say sitting around watching fellas work, I really have no excuse for doing that because, my friends, I have a very large undertaking here that I had come out early to get started on. And I don't know what's wrong with me. I just cannot find the strength in me to start digging the first hole. All right, so this is going to be the official groundbreaking hole for the ostrich and the goat pasture. So even though we worked and they're still working on the driveway and the pond over on that side, you know, that's for the longhorns and maybe a horse or two or donkey. We'll talk about that later. But all of this side over here is going to be for the ostriches that we bring, and all of that's for the goats. I'm going to take a few minutes break and talk about something that's on my mind. And I'm going to tell you now, this is probably going to be seen as quite controversial. It's not animal related. And so if you're only here for those things, the animals and the babies and whatnot, go ahead and take a break from this video. But my heart is heavy today, and I don't mind talking about why. I'm not going to get into all of the specific details, but a lot of y'all are going to say, Lester, when you have these kind of projects, you should call your friend Fidel. Call your friend Fidel. And because I do love Fidel as a person and as a family man, but he's no longer welcome on these properties. I sent Fidel off with the handshake and give your best to your, give my best to your family. So don't think that it ended on some kind of horrific terms, but we're no longer using Fidel. Okay, back to work, my friends. I am glad I got that off my chest. All right, so whenever you set off your first corner post, you tie you a string line to the bottom of it, and then you have to start walking that string line all the way down. And so this is the way you can guarantee that your fence is going to be straight. This is just one more way of how blessed I am to be doing a project here on this property. Mr. Dove has running water all over the place. He's already taken the time to go by and put these water lines in the ground. And this will be great. I mean, obviously now for doing my fencing, but even when it comes time to watering animals, or when we start having our garden and our orchard and stuff over here, having running water, guys, is a big, big plus. A lot of people give us a hard time about the four-wheeler and the side-by-side. They're talking about, I wish I had those kind of luxury items. Guys, if you don't know this already, you can ask any farmer, any rancher, any homesteader, and they'll tell you right off that having a side-by-side or a four-wheeler is a whole lot more than a luxury item. Yeah, they may be listed as a luxury item, but an all-terrain vehicle is anything but. I mean, otherwise, I'd be carrying those by hand. And I'd be carrying that by hand. You have no idea how much work these things can help us do around here. So my fencing project is coming along, but what I'm really admiring right now and keeping an eye on are these guys over here. It's really funny how the way the big tractor there, the big track hoe, I don't know what they call that thing. They call it by a number, but it's like the queen bee. No, it is. It's like the queen bee. And wherever it goes, these little machines, all these little machines are all moving around it, like circling around it and like doing all the support work. This here is like, it kind of reminds me of like when the president travels, and this over here is the main, you know, Air Force One. Let's say Air Force One, and all these guys are those F-14, those fighter jets that follow alongside for support. For everybody who says, Lester, what's the rush? Why y'all working so hard over there? What is the hurry? Guys, it is April. It's early April. It's 85 degrees. And the humidity is just killing me. And so you say, what is the rush? The rush is summertime's coming. And if we think it's bad now, wait till a month from now. And then wait until 2 months from now. And the heat is going to be unbearable. It'll be where you have to work in the mornings or the late afternoons, evenings. And so, no, we're doing as much work as we can now, because Mother Nature sort of dictates when to work, and you needed to hit any outside jobs in the early spring or the fall or winter. Heck, winter is fine, but you really can't do much here in the summer. And anyone who is from the South, you know that. So we push forward. I was just sitting here thinking about something, and imagine for a moment, you know, I can walk around here and do a job here and there and, you know, bellyache and complain and, oh, poor me, and look how dirty and look how sweaty and oh my God, my nails. But you know, if you think about something, think about how blessed I am. I'm 50 years old, and I'm blessed that I have the strength and the know-how and the tools and the resources to get jobs like this done. Imagine all of those folks who, after Hurricane Harvey, were already seniors. And I don't know what age you consider a senior, but I picture folks who are like in their 60s and 70s and 80s who were equally affected by the flood like I was, yet they did not have the tools, the resources, the energy, the know-how to do any rebuilding to their farms. And even though they may have had a farm that they built in their younger days when they had all of those things, they were pretty much forced to leave their farms, to leave their homes, and move somewhere to live out the rest of their days in a place that was not created, you know, from their own hands. And then I picture like Mr. Dub and Miss Sharon, who are packing up and moving to Alabama, and Dub has this vision of how he wants to kind of recreate what he's done here. Now, Dub will tell you right up, you know, straight to your face that it took him 18 years to build what he's gotten here. And Mr. Dub, being his age, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I don't imagine Mr. Dub having the strength to do what he's done and exert that kind of energy on his new property like he's done here. So I don't know. Sometimes I just I think that God begins to tell me things, just trying to remind me to count my blessings. That reminds me of a song we used to sing in church back when I used to go to church. Y'all ready? Seriously, please don't say, Lester, don't quit your day job, because this is my day job. And I'm not quitting this. And so part of my day job is to entertain you. And today I'm going to entertain you with a song that goes along with what I'm doing out here. If you know the song, sing with me. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. That can't be that bad. They never run me out of church. Anyway. If you ever sit there and no matter what situation you're in, and you take the time to start counting your blessings, you might be a lot more surprised at the things that you actually have in life, the things that you actually can do. And then you can always find someone across the street or down the road who doesn't have the same blessings that you do. All right, friends, I have came and conquered as much as I can conquer in one day. So I have the post set for that gate right there. That's an 8-foot gate that will lead into this pasture where the goats and the ostriches will have their forever homes. I set another gate here because this pasture will be sort of subdivided into different sections. So here's another gate set up here. I have the gate, I just have not hung those yet. So you guys know about cross fencing, right? So you can take one pasture and cross fence it, where you can actually in one pasture have several smaller pastures. And that's what my plan is to do with the ostriches, especially if one of them needs to be away, let's just say away from Carl. Or I've even told Jamie we could make 3 separate pastures and let Carl just kind of take turns with each lady. Oh, that sounds horrible. I also have one last gate over here, and this over here will be cross fenced to where if I want to drive through, this is where I will come down if I want to get into my pastures, and I can drive down along my fence line to mow. Goats, ostriches all over here on this side. I want to show y'all what's going on down here by the tree and the little crossing we've been talking about before I leave. These guys, they're really good at what they do. I wish I had these kind of skills. Look at the size of that. And so I'm going to go over here and show you. They're bringing in clay to pack around it. The guy in the blue shirt is sort of the head of operations. He's the guy that drives that one. And that's the head honcho there. I almost got in the way. That would not be fun. And so what's going to happen over here, I'm getting you on video, that's okay, buddy. What's going to happen is we have the culvert set all the way to my property line over here. And that way when I run my fence, like we talked about, I'll come right across the back end of that there culvert. The fellows went ahead and they're going to extend it over here far enough to where I can drive my tractor over on this side, and that's not going to affect anything on Mr. Pete's property at all. And so that's the plan. It's all looking good. And these guys over here, I said you're the head honcho, you drive the big tractor. Sure. The big tractor's the head honcho. These are all the worker bees here. These are your worker bees. You're the queen bee. He laughed at that. Anyway, these guys are, tell you what, they're good. They're real good. All right, well, folks, it's been a heck of a day. Last thing I want to do is sit inside this bucket in selfie mode. I hope that no one cranks this thing up and takes off with me. Look at this. It's kind of claustrophobic in here. I am literally sitting comfortably inside the huge bucket. Look at the teeth on this thing. What a way to end the video. Should I? Should I just make a complete ass of myself and go right up through there like military crawl? All right, for all of you servicemen and women, this is for you. Don't say you've never thought about doing this.